Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a really tense situation up in Edgewood, British Columbia. It's between the Universal Ostrich Farm, or UOF, and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the CFIA.
Right, and it's all about the fate of, what, over 300 ostriches?
Exactly. And we've got quite a stack of material here. We really need to dig into the science behind why this standoff even happened.
Yeah, because you have two totally different realities, don't you?
Yeah.
For the farm, these are, beloved pets. They've got names like Lulu, Q-tip survivors.
But for the CFIA,
For the CFIA, the entire place is an infected premises. It's seen as a risk, a serious one, to the national poultry industry and potentially human health, too.
and it seems like things got off to a really rocky start. We should probably touch on how this all began.
Definitely. The core issue early on was the farm not reporting mass deaths.
Mass deaths. How many?
Well, by January 2025, 69 birds had already died. 69. From HPAI, high pathogenicity avian influenza.
Which was federally reportable, right? They have to report that.
They absolutely do. But the CFIA, they apparently found out from an anonymous source, not the farm.
Oof. So that kind of sets an adversarial tone from day one, I imagine.
Completely.
Right.
It shifts it from routine disease management to, well, an urgent enforcement situation.
Okay, so the CFIA steps in. What did the testing actually show? What did the National Center for Foreign Animal Disease find? You mentioned HPAI, but was it just standard?
No. And this is where it gets really interesting, scientifically speaking. NCFAD found it wasn't your typical H5N1. It was a novel reassortment.
Reassortment, meaning it mixed with another virus.
Exactly. It picked up different genetic bits, creating this specific D1.3 genotype. And this wasn't just academic. Lab tests showed this D1.3 was significantly more lethal, more pathogenic than other strains they were seeing.
More lethal.
Yeah.
Wow. But the impact wasn't just contained to BC, was it? I heard something about a wider connection.
Yeah, and this really ups the stakes. The genomic sequencing, like viral fingerprinting, it showed something pretty chilling.
What was that?
The virus from the BC farm. It was the direct genetic ancestor of H5N1 D1.3 outbreaks that popped up later in Ohio and Missouri.
The direct ancestor. So it spread from there.
The genetics point straight back to Edgewood, and that specific D1.3 lineage, it was even linked to a human infection down there. So the UOF, well, it became a documented source of disease spread across the continent.
Okay, so given that, the CFIA's stamping out policy makes more sense. But help us understand, for the listener maybe asking, why destroy healthy-looking birds like Q-tip just because others got sick?
That's the tough part, emotionally. But the policy, it's based on international standards from WOJOIT, the World Organization for Animal Health. It's not about individual birds as much as the entire premises.
The whole farm is a reservoir.
Exactly. The big concern is asymptomatic carrioles. Birds that look fine, maybe even test negative on a snapshot test, but could still be shedding the virus silently.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they could keep spreading it.
Right. And in a large flock like that, with partial exposure, you risk the virus continuing to circulate, maybe even evolving further, becoming more dangerous. So the policy is clear. Eliminate the entire reservoir.
Now, while the science seemed pretty locked down, the farm story seemed to change over time.
It did shift, yeah.
Yeah.
Initially, it looked more like a commercial operation, meeting the bird threshold, selling byproducts.
Well, then.
Then the narrative became more about it being a research facility or these being family pets, which understandably generates a lot more public sympathy.
But that commercial history, didn't that raise a separate health concern? Something about skincare?
It absolutely did. This farm is linked to ONU Skincare, which uses ostrich oil. Now, proper industrial rendering uses very high heat, like 115 Celsius plus pressure too. That kills pathogens.
Okay.
But if the oil is only minimally processed, maybe just filtered or something, there's a potential risk, however small, that viable H5N1 virus from an infected site could persist.
And applying that to skin, especially broken skin.
That's a potential public health vector right there, a direct road for transmission.
And the conflict didn't just stay on the farm, did it? Things got messy outside the fence line, too.
Yeah, there's non-compliance, breaching quarantine, hosting public events. I think there was even a concert reported with a Freedom Convoy organizer.
Right, I saw that.
And that polarization, it led to some really serious incidents in the community. Police were investigating threats against local businesses people thought might be helping the CFIA.
And there was that awful alleged assault, wasn't there?
Yeah, a really disturbing report of an alleged violent assault and arson attempts on an elderly neighbor, reportedly by someone supporting the protest side. Just awful fallout.
So when you boil it all down, what are we looking at here?
It's really a clash, isn't it? Individual liberty, this deep emotional connection to animals
Yeah.
versus the state's absolute obligation to use science-based biosecurity.
Protecting a huge industry, the $6.8 billion poultry sector, and public health generally.
Exactly. It's a tough balancing act.
So here's maybe something for you, the listener, to chew on. The farm managed to use public campaigns, legal tactics, to significantly delay the culling order.
Created a precedent, arguably.
So the question becomes, when you're facing a proven, evolving zoonotic threat like this D1.3 virus, how much obstruction, how much delay can society really tolerate against the very policies designed to contain that threat?
Especially when every delay, gives a dangerous virus more time, more chances to spread and potentially change even further. It's a really critical question for how we handle these things going forward.